Guys, Marstingan here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so finally, tomorrow, we have new content coming, or I guess later tonight, depending on if you're in the US in certain parts. You can tell now, because after the maintenance from last night, one of the things I saw a lot of people tweeting about is the fact that all the times in the game on Global should now show up at your local time. So when like the celebration info comes out, whenever we get a new celebration and stuff like that, you're going to be able to see the times of all of the things in your actual local time, rather than trying to have to work out what it is in PST compared to your time. So that's very cool. But yeah, 3 new free-to-play EZAs are coming out for Global. Obviously, it's not the main bulk of Part 2. We still don't know 100% exactly what that is going to be. I'm going to do a video going over that stuff probably at the weekend, so keep an eye out for that one. But 3 free-to-play EZAs coming up. So we have the 2 next Team Bardock EZAs. So we have Torah, which is definitely one of the ones I think is going to be the most useful, because Torah is a support unit. After his EZA, he raises attack and defense on super attack, as well as doing supreme damage and greatly lowering defense. His passive is attack and defense 150%, all allies 3 key, attack and defense 30%, and then Team Bardock allies, chance of performing a crit 10%. He recovers 15% HP whenever HP is 85% or less, if there are 3 or more low-class warrior allies on the team. So obviously the last part you're pretty much only going to see if you're running like a Team Bardock team, or if you're running like a Pure Saiyans team where you're bringing units like LR Bardock, maybe Turles for support after he gets his EZA. But the last part is just kind of like a nice little bonus. The good thing is that he gives all allies this 3 key and 30% attack and defense support, and then he's giving Team Bardock allies just an extra bit of crit chance, which is nice, but it means you can use him on teams without a bunch of Team Bardock allies, because he's still going to have very good base attack and defense 150. Obviously he's a free-to-play unit, but with EZA stats, and he raises attack and defense on super. So in terms of build-wise for him, he's never going to do a lot of damage anyway, so you definitely want to give him some additional to capitalize on the raising attack and defense, and then you can go for like dodge as the secondary ability. I wouldn't really bother trying to give this guy too much crit, because he's never really going to do that much damage, and his role on your team, if you're using him, is to be a support unit. But I would definitely give him as much additional as possible, because anytime he double supers, he's obviously going to get that double defense raise, and that's going to make him slightly better in the more difficult content. So he's definitely one of the better ones. He helps out the team a huge amount, because he's a support unit rather than just getting all the benefit himself. Next up, we have our boy Lord Sugesh. So Sugesh, after his EZA, infinitely stacks defense, as well as greatly raising attack for 1 turn. So straight away, I mean, additionals for him obviously going to be good. Infinitely stacking defense, very, very good for longer form events. And then greatly raising attack. So if he does get an additional super, you're going to see that attack stat jump up, which is very good. Attack and defense 150. Additional attack and defense 50% when there is another Team Bardock ally attacking in the same turn. So obviously very solid base to work from there if you have a Team Bardock ally. He performs a crit when the target enemy is stunned, and he stuns the enemy when the target enemy is super attack sealed. So obviously when you combine the various Team Bardock units together, you've got Bardock can seal, the LR Bardock can seal, Borgos can stun, so they play off of each other quite nicely with their special abilities. He also launches an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super attack when the target enemy is in attack down or defense down. So as much as we meme about defense down and how it isn't really that useful, it is still an effect that a lot of events that cancel other status effects still allow you to apply to the enemy, and a lot of random units do have lowering defense on their super attack or as part of their passive. So that's going to be a nice little addition in modes where that is going to be available. And obviously in Super Battle Road, lowering attack of the enemies is always useful, so having that extra ability play off of that is really, really good as well. So even though most of his abilities play off of super attack effects or status effects, I guess, he definitely is going to be one of the units that works a lot better when he's with a Team Bardock ally. The good thing is they pretty much all have the same link set except for one link. They all have like one link that is different, and Sugesh is tough as nails. But what that means is they all link up pretty well with the physical LR Bardock, which obviously not only helps him to achieve his full potential, but then obviously, like, say you're running this guy on rotation with him, LR Bardock can seal, which means that this guy can stun, if possible, in that event. And, of course, he's got 200% start of turn attack and defense, which is very, very good. So, Sugesh looking pretty good. I do think he is one of the ones that is more suited to being run with another Team Bardock ally, as opposed to Torah, who I think you could definitely get away with running on teams without any other Team Bardock allies. Like, if you're a free-to-play unit player and you have no good like support units for like a Pure Saiyan team, Space Traveling Warriors team, like, you could go ahead and use this guy and he'll be decent. Whereas Sugesh, if you're a free-to-play player, I can't really see you putting him on like a Pure Saiyan or Space Traveling Warrior team without any other Team Bardock members. But of course, the whole team is free to play, so it's a really nice way to cinch up some of these teams where you're missing some units. You can just bring Team Bardock units and they're going to work really well together, so I think that's very good. And then last but not least, we have the next Super Strike EZA. So if I remember rightly, this is the second one that was released on JP. It's technically the third one now for global because we got the STR Trunks one on both versions at the same time. And the funniest thing is, I've seen people say that this guy unironically is the best Android 16 in the game, because we all know the actual int, like, summonable Android 16 is pretty terrible. The tech one is actually okay. I give him a lot of stick all the time because of how many times he got me killed doing the Android's ESBR no item run. But obviously, when his guard activates and after supering when his defense is really high, he is actually still pretty good. But, you know, always good to meme on the bad Android 16 units. But Super Strike Android 16 is people were not really happy with the first one when they did the Mighty Mask revamp, but people were much more happy with this one when this came out on JP. So he has an int types leader skill. Leader skill you're not really going to use unless you're, you know, free to play or a newer player. But he raises defense for 1 turn, does supreme damage to the enemy, and lowers attack. So those two super attack effects absolutely scream for him being given as much additional as possible, because if you get an additional super, obviously you raise your defense again and you can apply another attack lower to the enemy. So seems like a good way to go just based on his super attack effect. His passive is attack and defense 160, it's pretty solid. Additional defense 80% when facing 2 or less enemies. So you're going to have this almost all of the time outside of Super Battle Road, and even in some of the Super Battle Road stages you fight 2 enemies anyway, so that is very, very good. Now, unfortunately, he is still a chance to guard unit, so he has a high chance to guard all attacks when all allies attacking in the same turn are Android/Cell Saga characters. So obviously that's the team that you're going to want to run him on, or at least a team comprised of those kind of units. Like a Cell team, for example, is Android/Cell Saga and Power Absorption, but as long as it's all allies on the same rotation are Android/Cell Saga, you're going to get that chance to guard. He does get guaranteed guard, but only when you're facing 3 or more enemies. And then regardless of what that scenario is, if he does guard, he gets 60% damage reduction. So that is really, really good. This unit, even before he got his awakening, like back when he was a super old, just a super strike unit, he was actually unironically a good free-to-play card to use all those years ago against tech enemies. Because all he really did was have damage reduction when guarding. He didn't have any extra way to guard, so it literally just meant whenever you were fighting a tech enemy. But this is actually unironically pretty good. As long as you're running him on this team, which is going to be the best place to run him anyway because of who his link partners are and stuff. Even on like Target Goku, you're going to be linking him up with units who are Android/Cell Saga characters. So whilst it is still annoying that chance to guard is a thing and that the game doesn't tell you whether it's activated or not, so you kind of always just have to roll the dice and hope for the best, he's still looking very, very good, because with this extra 80% defense being up almost all of the time and then raising defense on super, his defense after super attacking is actually going to be pretty good. And then if you get a double super, he's going to be looking really nice. So even if he doesn't guard, unless you're getting hit by a super attack, he should still be pretty good defensively. Now, unfortunately, his links are not great. All of the Super Strike units have Super Strike, which they're the only units in the game that have it, and it is a 25% attack link at level 10. So it's a really good link, but you're not going to see it active that often. Some of the Cell units have Gentleman. Tough as Nails, there's a few characters that have that. Soul vs. Soul is usually only for Super type Android/Cell Saga characters. Mechanical Menaces and Android Assault. Mechanical Menaces isn't even that common, so his links are not going to be the best, and he doesn't give himself key in his passive, so that is something that you might have to be careful of. But other than that, he is looking pretty good. And then I wanted to talk about his Super Strike event. I talked about the previous ones when they were coming out as well, but remember, when it comes to this, you don't really need to pre-farm a lot of this stuff. Like, sometimes it's good to do all that in advance, but if you already have the Super Strike 16, all you really need to do to be perfectly ready to get like all the rewards and be on your way to like getting him fully done is to get one of his dupe paths unlocked. So that involves farming up a second copy. Now, you don't have to do that because that involves you using a bunch of medals. But if we look at the missions, it's these Turtle and Bulma medals that you usually only get for the World Tournament. You need those to awaken him from this SSR form that he's summoned as, farmed as, into the actual SSR version that then awakens into a UR. So you have to awaken him to then feed in a path, and that is going to cost you 7 of these medals. But if you get him leveled up to Super Attack 10, you get 7 of these medals back anyway. So if you're starting completely from scratch, just by farming him up to 10, they give you the medals to awaken him. And then by clearing stage 2, you get the medals again. That gives you enough to awaken a second copy, feed him into open one path, and then as you can see here, when you unlock one path, they give you 3 more copies. So you only need to unlock one path yourself, which you can use these medals for from clearing stage 2, and then they give you the other 3 copies to open his other 3 paths. Then you can rainbow him, and you get a bunch of int orbs back anyway. So you can get a ton of these rewards automatically as soon as the event comes out if you already have your int 16 at this stage as a UR with one path unlocked, which is what I got mine to. And then to do stage 4 to get his EZA medals, if you beat it within 5 turns, you're going to get both of these. If you do it with first form Cell on your team, you're going to get a bunch of them as well. And then if you do it with a power absorption category team, so full power absorption, you get another bunch of medals. Now, if you look at some of the other missions, clear stage 4 3 times gets you 5 stones. In total, if you do all of these missions for the new Super Strike units, you get about 22 stones. So even if you're not going to use them, it is 100% worth doing. But, as you can see, one of the missions is to beat stage 4 3 times. If you bring a power absorption team with a first form Cell, so you complete both these missions at the same time, you only have to beat the stage 3 times, and you will have all of the medals to EZA him. So really, really good. I really like the way they've done the events for these Super Strike revamps because it makes it really, really easy to get everything you need and complete all of these missions. So there you go. These are the 3 units that are going to be coming out tomorrow. Again, if you're unsure, because I don't think it's in the news in-game, but even though the game is now going to show your local times, I don't think it has it listed in-game at the moment. But at the time that this video goes up, the event should be coming out in exactly 12 hours if you are watching it as soon as the video goes up. I've been trying to stream a lot more recently, so I'm going to go live when this comes out, and we'll do the Extreme Z areas and the Super Strike revamp and stuff live on stream, as well as some other chill stuff and maybe some more challenge runs. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on so you can see when I do go live, and maybe I'll see you there. So let me know which of the 3 that you are the most interested in, and hopefully I will see you at the live stream. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.